Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming into my channel. This is Bridget Love and this is Numbers Divine. And today I will be talking about the life path number 9. The number 9 is the last number out of the 1 through 9 series that I will be doing, but I will also be doing a master number 11 video and also a 22 and 33 video combined. So if you guys are 22 or 33 or 11, your video is coming up. The number 9 is considered the most developed number of numerology. So why do I say that? If you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, you get a 45. So when you add up the 4 and the 5, you get a 9. That means that the 9 is a very demanding life path. It means that the number 9 life path also encompasses all of the bad and good qualities of all of the other numbers. Versatility is one word I can describe the number 9 to be, because they feel like they can be a part of everything. The number 9 is a number that is on the emotional plane of life. So you have come into the world with very dramatic and very strong emotions. You feel these emotions and these feelings more intense than probably all the other numbers of numerology. You have come in here with an old soul mentality. So when people probably meet you, they think that you're a little more older than you are. You seem a little more put together than most people your age. You come off as someone who has a lot of wisdom, a lot of intellect, a lot of information to share. Subconsciously, people feel that way about you. You are naturally wise and observant, and you have a very good way of understanding the world. So you live your world on all levels. Like, you are a natural leader. So when people meet you, they automatically think you are in a position of authority. This also comes in hand with you feeling like you are responsible for tasks, because you assume the responsibility. You assume that you are in charge, and that is why people always gravitate towards you. You are more like not the person that demands the leadership position, but people automatically feel attached to you in that way because you make them feel comfortable. You make them feel like they can trust you. The number 9 life path can also be considered an inspirational person. So someone who is always convicted, someone that has very strong opinions, but their opinions are not necessarily one-sided. They always look at the broadest perspective. You are also very blessed with being multi-talented. For example, you can feel like you can do one thing, but then you feel like you're great at another thing. So as an example, you can be a singer, but also feel like you're really good at acting. Or it's true, the 9 life path, because it has a lot of numbers under the ruling, then you do have a very obvious sense of talent. You have a charisma that automatically enables you to be very likable, to be very admirable. A very great quality about them as well, that they also tend to be original in some aspects. So they tend to be original either in the fashion world, or they tend to be original in the writing world, or they tend to be original in the music world. Perfect example of this would be Kurt Cobain, who's also another 9 life path. He was somebody that was considered, or is still considered, a pioneer of creating a genre that is ultimately his. You guys are natural givers as well. You guys can give to a fault, and at times you feel like you are responsible for other people's downfalls, and that can be a downfall for you because you can be focused on other people more than yourself. This can also attract people who are more of a taker than a giver. You have to be careful who you give your time to, who you give your money to, who you give your energy to, because people can be vultures. 9 life path also has a very strong spiritual base. You do not want to fuck with a 9 life path's spirituality, because a 9 life path is very observant and naturally able to capture things that other people might not be able to see. The 9 life path is very spiritual. In a sense, you cannot really believe that the world is so fucked up. You want to be able to believe it, but you don't. And so what you do is you cling to spirituality in order for you to feel like there's so much more than just the physical realm. And anything or anyone that tries to trample on your spirituality can be very hurtful to you. So I said that if you add up all of the numbers, 1 through 9, you get a 9 if you add up the 45. As a 9 life path, you have the leadership of the 1, you have the love of the 2, you have the creativity of the 3, you have the discipline of the 4, you have the global consciousness of the 5, you have the nurturing side of the 6, you have the strong spirituality of the 7, and you have the knowledge and the vision of the 8. So you have all of the good and bad qualities of all the other numbers. And so this is why this life path can feel very burdensome, very overwhelming to some people. One of the mistakes that they do is that they don't know how to balance their emotions. Their emotional state of mind is so dramatic, so intense that they sometimes get consumed by it. It's not weird if a 9 life path goes out to drink a lot or goes out to party a lot. Because of this, they feel like their intensity can sometimes be a little bit too much, so they destroy themselves. And a lot of people will feel as well about the 9 life path that they are very condescending and like know-it-alls. You can come off as someone who feels like they know what's best for everyone, feels what's best for the world. You have to learn not to preach so much and actually guide people by the example that you're living. A lot of 9 life paths, they just like to preach and preach and preach and say, oh my God, you need to do this, you need to do that. Why are you not doing this? This is not the correct way to do it. You're doing this wrong, you know? And you're not living the example. So people are not going to get inspired by you if you're not living in that example. A lot of 9 life paths also feel, because of their developed nature, that the world is so fucked up and that your enlightenment is only yours. Instead of sharing that enlightenment with others, you feel like it's a lonely path. And this will enable you to be more prone to suicide. And I know this is very heavy for me to say, but it's very true. A lot of 9 life paths feel like their mental state is so heightened and so much more developed than other people. You feel so alone and so closed off from the world. Like I said in my 7 life path video, that the 1, the 7, and the 9 are the 3 numbers out of all of the numbers that feel like they are a true outcast to the world. Because you have been probably an underdog. You have probably been someone that people want to bully because you have a very gentle nature about yourself. You have to learn that your knowledge, your wisdom, your innate ability to understand and observe the world is truly a gift for other people. For the people that I'm talking about when it comes to prone to suicide, Kurt Cobain is one of the biggest examples that I like to come up with when it comes to the 9 life path. If you guys look at his suicide note, he talks about the fact that he feels that fame is not necessarily his path, that he does not feel any joy when there are people cheering for him. He wants something authentic. He wants something that is so much more to fame. Another example of this would be Virginia Woolf. Virginia Woolf was a 1920s writer. If you look at her work, Mrs. Dalloway, for example, she talks about homosexuality, the importance of aging, the nuance of social life. She talks about things that are so ahead of her time that I feel like her book is actually something that is happening now. You know, we're still struggling with the issues that she talked about in her book. She killed herself in 1941. Did I mention also that the 9 life path feels like they are clairvoyant? So she felt in her heart that World War II was about to happen. So what she did was she put rocks inside of her coat and she drowned herself in the river because she did not want to be a part of this. She did not want to be a part of the world. 9s feel like they are so alone, so alone in the world. My biggest advice to you is to just share it with the world, because thankfully this number is a very expressive number, just like the 3 and the 6. You might feel like you are very much attached to your parents, in a sense where like you feel like you're completely responsible for your parents, or you feel like you need to take care of them, or you feel like they are completely oblivious to you. So you'll feel that way, and I'll tell you right now that you need a special set of boundaries as a 9 life path, because you will continue to cater to your own family and not really focus on yourself. You can be very angry at times and very bitter and very intense in a bad way. Because the way that your idealism works is that you wish that the world was perfect. You wish that the world was a utopian place where people love and care for one another. And that has always been the vision of the 9. That has always been the dream of the 9. A lot of 9 life paths also feel like they're saints or someone that is like so out of this world. Okay, I get it, you know, because Mother Teresa was a 9 life path and Gandhi was as well. They hold themselves in high regards. And sometimes people may feel like you are a little too much into your own head. You have to understand that your developed sense is not for you to feel like you are better than other people. It is for you to teach other people. So you are here to be a creative artist. That is one thing I'll tell you right now. The artists that are under the 9 Life Path, just to name a few, are Whitney Houston, Bob Marley, Kurt Cobain, Adele, Charles Bukowski, who is also a writer, Virginia Woolf, who's also a writer. We got Elvis Presley as well. As a 9 Life Path, you gain your success by not bending to the rules. What I mean by that is that you are the most unconventional out of all the numbers, and you lead your success in the most unconventional ways, and you still find that success. Why does it happen? Because your luck is very much in tune with the universe, just like the 3 and the 6. Because of this very reason as well, most people will feel threatened by your success, or they will feel threatened by you. Because people might feel like you're not putting in as much effort, and you're still getting all the good things that people feel like they deserve. A perfect example of this, Adele. Adele was a person who basically beat all odds in the music industry. If I'm talking about only the mainstream, because I do divide the mainstream music from, indie music for some reason. But in the mainstream, Adele was able to conquer the charts. She was able to conquer the world. If you look at her physicality, she's not the most sexy. And I say that in quotes because that's how the world would view her. Someone who is overweight, or someone who does not fit the standard of beauty. The biggest problem for a 9 is to let go of the past. How does that happen? How do you let go of the past? Again, I'm going to talk about Adele because Adele just represents the 9 Life Path so greatly. Like, it's crazy. But Adele was able to do a pioneering album, which was 21. The entire album is about a breakup. You listen to the album pretty much talks about the relationship that she was in, and then how she let go of it, and how she was able to accept it. When you let go of the past, that's when magical things happen to you. Because Adele was able to let go of the past and express herself and teach others how to let go. I'm sure a lot of people looked up to that album because it was a breakup album. And it said exactly what people would feel if they were to go through a very intense breakup the way that Adele did. That's how I believe Adele became very successful, because she lived truly into the essence of the 9 that she is supposed to be. To conclude this video, I did say, for example, that the 8 represents the potentiality of human beings because of the wealth, the materialism, the easy way of them gaining what basically humanity wants, which is in the material world, which is in the physical world. But as a 9 Life Path, you represent something so much more bigger than that. You represent humanity, the highest potential of humanity, which is kindness. You might feel like, oh my god, I give of myself so fucking much, like people are always freaking taking away from me. You have to understand that the 9 is built on the axiom of giving. So the more that you give, the more that you will receive back, and not necessarily from the same people, just life itself. You as a 9 Life Path will feel, how can I be selfless in a selfish world? How can I be full of integrity when the world is not full of integrity? And I know a lot of 9 Life Paths feel like, oh my god, this is such a material world, it's gonna be hard, this and that. It's very hard to be the essential of the 9. It's very hard. It's the most difficult path. And because it's the most difficult path, it is the most worth it. That's basically what I like to say about the 9 Life Path. Thank you all so very much for coming into my channel. And again, like I said, I will be doing a video for the 11 and the 22 and the 33. I also have a submission form on my website. Again, you guys can check it out, www.numbersdivine.com. Please check that out. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you so very much again. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.